These are my favourite tips that you shouldn't skip as a dog groomer. I won't just do one wash, I will do two. Wash them first in the first shampoo, rinse it off, and then do the second. Worked like a treat, and then obviously wash that one off. If you're using diluted shampoo, do not wet your dog first. This is already diluted down to the perfect ratio. So if you are wetting your dog, you are going to water this down further and the shampoo will not take as good of effect. By also doing this, you will see all the areas that you have and haven't done. This is great for new groomers where you want to make sure that you're getting the dog all over. Remember to proper scrub these shampoos into their toes because the most important parts of your groom are going to be where you're putting your scissors, which is feet and face. This is a perfect example of why to not wet your dog first. You can see exactly where I have and haven't shampooed. If you feel like you run out of your shampoo bottle really fast, be quite sparing with it and then top up places as you go. If you're on a extra large dog, I would probably do 2 bottles just for the first wash and then 1 bottle for the second. This is more personal preference, but I prefer a shower head with a jet stream like that. It's not super pressured or powerful, it's just a nice steady stream, and this way you're really pushing that shampoo up from underneath the coat. Literally watch it happen. Whereas when you have on like this, and it's just rainfall, like we would kind of have a shower, it feels like it's not really doing anything, and it's probably slowing you down. Before I get on with my second wash, this is when I will usually do a facial, just because then I like it to soak in just whilst I'm doing the second wash. Obviously I'm very mindful, very careful of their eyes, and if I do feel like I've gone a bit too far, I will then wash it off immediately. I'm going to do 3 pumps for his face just because he's got so much hair. And he's getting a lot around his chops as well, and then I'm going to rub that into my hands first because it's frothy. Come here, sweet. This doesn't really apply to Hugo as he doesn't really get bad tear stains or bad eye gunk, but for dogs that do, he does have a little bit of eye gunk, but not loads. But for dogs that do, I will grab a flea comb and I will comb through their facial just around their eyes. And a little bit around their mouth if they need it. Do not skip your happy weeks.
Do not skip your own ear protection either, and also make sure your dog is restrained correctly. I would recommend a pointed nozzle for your blaster hose on curly coated dogs or anything long haired, and for anything flat coated such as retrievers or cocker spaniels, I would recommend the flat nozzle instead. For puppies or new dogs, I would recommend putting your blaster on low power and not using the nozzle, and then adding and turning this up as the groom goes on. We will be using this on Hugo.
I left his phrase on the coat after blow drying, so the fluffing will be a lot easier. I will be using a Simpsons purple stick brush on Hugo. This has a shorter side and a longer side, the super longer side bristles, which is great for super fluffy dogs like Hugo. And I do have a smaller one, this is Colin Taylor's, but the bristle length doesn't even compare. These are so much longer and better for them thicker coats. These are probably better for very generic, short, everyday grooms. I'm using my Artero, I think I wear it upside down, but I just find it more comfy. My Artero neck dryer. Is that it? I'm also using my Colin Taylor comb. I've had this for 5-6 years now. It has seen me through a lot and it's lasted so well, and hardly any little things are good. Look at the difference in those legs. Crazy. This is Hugo, all bath, blow dried and fluffed. I've not brushed him out perfectly because we're not allowed to go any conquering. So no, we're not doing it perfectly. I'm just going through with the comb just to get any last little tangles. You will notice Hugo has a little bit of hair loss just at the end of this coat as well. The best thing for any spots with a bit of hair loss or just hair missing is just treat it as if the hair is there. Unrelated, but I'm sure you've noticed Hugo dribbles a lot and he just always does this. This leg, and then we're nearly done with our prep. I am going to use nails. I always work in quite a routine. I have a really solid routine now of how I groom dogs, but what you should remember is this should be altered and catered to your dog. So for instance, if I had a dog that maybe didn't like his nails, whereas I would usually do it now, right after fluffing, I might have to do it in the bath straight away before we start bathing. I might have to do it, some of them I do it mid-blast, and I'll get the bulb dry, that way they've got the happy body on, it makes them feel a bit more protected whilst they have the nails done. Some I just leave it till the very end, but otherwise now is usually when I would do the nails. So I never usually do them from the front, I usually do them from the back because of weight and spot. I look at what they look like from the front to gauge how much I can take off, but otherwise I will put them from the back to wait and see that dot in the middle.
I will do all the dog's nails from their left hand side, just as this is a much comfier angle for both myself and the dog.
After doing his nails, I will trim his eyes and then his paw pads. I do eyes first just because I don't want to do his paw pads and then go to his eyes. That just feels a bit wrong, even though they are obviously clean, you still don't know what's inside them. But I know a lot of groomers are very scared to do this. My advice is practice just fills you with confidence at the end of the day. I have got my trimmers on the longest that they will go, which is 2mm. I have clipster ones, I think they're called, like this. I have recently got these are probably literally a week old, but I got these because mine were in tatters. So we're going on the longest blade, and I'm going to go towards his eyes, I don't go away, especially because they're brand new, they will take it extremely short if I go down. So I'm just going to go in the corners of his eyes. Like so. And I will then just go over the bridge of his nose, just connect them together. I'm very flicky when I do it, and I glide away, just because I think it gives it that more natural look. It doesn't look super harsh. Boy. I do know a lot of groomers that will flip it up and drag it across the eyes like that. I do find, personally, I find that a bit difficult, but I do know it's a great hack. I think it's finding out what works best for you. I will then move these to the, not the shortest, but the next one down from that. So I think that takes it to 1.2mm, I think. See what I mean now? Yeah. So I've gone on the one down from the shortest, and I'm just going to do paw pads. And these as well have 3 speed settings. So I find the first one, the slowest, is great for eyes, but you can take it nice and gently. I would probably do setting 2 for their feet. And the only time I would really do setting 3 is if I was trying to get through somewhere bulky, like if they have mats on their paw pads, but otherwise I don't really use it. And that is me with my mini trimmers all done. I do know a lot of groomers that will use these as well on hygiene, but again, going back to when I do their eyes, it just doesn't feel right to then do hygiene with them, especially because I will give them a clean between dogs, so it just seems a little wrong. Next up, we are going on to clipping. So I have my High Angus Sapphires. I have had these 7 years, I think. They have lasted me absolutely amazingly. I've had them serviced, I probably have them serviced maybe like once a year, and they're lasting me so well. They're still super strong. I had to draw a little G and I drew little stars on them just so we know who's for whose, because Lily, who also works here, has the exact same pair as me. So at least mine are distinguishable. So I've got my 10 blade on, I've got ultra edge, but otherwise I would recommend master cut blades, mainly because they're wide. But I will not use a wide 10. You will not pay me to, and it isn't really right in my eyes. But I'm just using a bog standard 10. And we're going to do this hygiene, which is armpits, these manly bits. I don't really have a set area or guidance on where to go up to. I will kind of go until I feel like it's further enough where everything's going to stay neat. I'm going to do his other armpit first. Same again on this side, I'll kind of just match what I've done on the opposite. And then his bottom. I usually would recommend, I know a lot of groomers will just go up like that. I would usually recommend going a bit on the side and a bit on the side, and this can really help with itchiness. And then I'll go up if I've missed any pieces. If that's the bump hole, the hair will grow over it like that, so if I'm going side to side, I'm taking more of the hair up nice and short. And I'm not 100% sure how true this is, but I've had another groomer tell me that it helps not rupture the anal glands, so it will make them less itchy and they'll have less scooting. Not necessarily all the time, but most of the time. I'm thinking to clip him on a 4F or a 3-cone. So I always drop down a blade on the belly because it's neater, it's so much neater. I would usually also recommend it for inside the legs, but I'm going to be keeping Hugo's flares so he's not having any blades inside his legs unless I'm skinning down them. So I'm going to do the 5F on his tongue. And I kind of just take this from the armpit where I've already put it in and just take it all the way back to his manly bits. I don't go up the side, I might make sure I keep the blade down. I won't curve up and around, I will make sure I'm staying like that. Because if you go like that, you will definitely see exactly where you clipped. So you can hardly see what I've done, but it's going to make everything so much neater and easier to manage. We're going to start with a 3-cone attachment that's also equivalent to a 10mm. Again, I use wides, so I'm using the wide 30 master cut, and then I'm also using my wide comb attachment. I believe these are from Simpsons. I'm sure they're from Simpsons anyway. I don't know what the wide colours are because I don't think the wide colours match to the narrow colours, so if you reference your comb attachment by colour, I can't help you. I'm very sorry. I will do 3 because if you notice just there, it says 3/8, so that is a 3, so you can see where I drew a 3 on. And that's how I refer to them all. Don't get me wrong, I don't use the 1 and the 2, I don't even have a 1, but I use 3 all the way through to 8, and I will just refer to them as 3-comb attachment, 4-comb attachment, and etc. So I'm gonna crack on with Hugo's groom. I'm not really gonna do much more videoing for this. I'll probably show you when he's done. And if you would like grooming tips rather than prepping tips, please comment below, like, subscribe. I will gladly do a grooming tip video. But for now, let's get you sorted.